perfectly fucking okay. And I was picking on Neil deGrasse Tyson a little bit for his whole Neil deGrasse Tyson destroys your favorite movies this summer thing. And I'm like, destroying the bad science in movies is like destroying the plotline in a porno. No matter what, you're still getting what you went in there for. And then I was like, wait, there's a market for destroying the bad science in movies. Maybe there's a market for destroying the plot lines in porno. So just Alice and I were talking about it.
Someone had to jump on it, right?
You wanted to go wreck some porn movies.
Okay. It's, I mean, well, if there wasn't wrecking already in them, there was going to be after we were done with them.
Well, the fact that, okay, plot holes and porn seem to kind of go together. I don't think that many of them are supposed to be well scripted, and nowadays most of
you have not seen Back to the Future.
Sure.
No, I have not.
And the Big Lebowski
Triple X. Yeah.
Big Lebowski Triple X.
Watch it. I'm not even fucking with you for the cinematography values.
Is this something?
Okay, so legitimately.
Go ahead,
seriously.
You know what?
There was this Star Wars one I saw a while back. It was called A New Hole or something like that. It was a parody of A New Hope. That one actually gets pretty much every plot device of the actual movie down to a T. I was really impressed. Yep. It's probably one of my favorites.
That's what we look for is, we love the parody ones and we love kind of the old crazy experimental ones. Like I still have kind of Night Dreams, Cafe Flesh. I met somebody, a former porn actor who auditioned for Cafe Flesh. Yeah, wow. This happened like 2 weeks ago, and he seemed a little angry when I said that the porn acting was better now than it used to be. I'm like, dude, just because you were a bad actor, it's not my fault.
Get better, man. Get better at your performance. Some of these movies, like for example, if I correct me wrong, but there was a movie back when called Pirates that was like $1 million budget. Mm-hmm. This was a high end. So you think that the porn companies are now investing in those kind of things? They're trying to legitimatize them in the actual mainstream and all? Because back in the 70s, way before everybody was here, back in my time, I even know I was too young to watch back then. But as I grew up,
it really wasn't on the internet.
No, I got to tell you, this is a true story. Back when, before people had the internet and stuff like that, we had something called Select and On TV. And these were actually broadcast over the UHF bands. And so I remember back in like 1980 or 5, give or take, right, the early mid 80s, and I had a little analog TV, and you would turn a little dial, and what it'd do would be kind of off the fundamental frequency a little bit, but Select TV and On TV were coming over it, and it was scrambled. So if you tune it just a little bit off the fundamental frequency, sometimes that scramble would go away, and you get a whole picture. Like you're like nipple, that's nipple. I swear to God,
you're like
white, but.
Every so often you're like, I see an ultra weird looking vagina, but I'm into it.
Oh, I don't know if I would have recognized that at that age. I knew it. I knew what boobs looked like. Yeah.
All I'm saying is
still have to
like a whole fetish that we're going to find out eventually.
That people because they grew up jerking off to bad video quality porn that they got from like hunting on those dials.
4K would have killed me
now.
4K would have killed me. I wouldn't know what I've done.
I was going to say, let's not forget that if you had an 8mm projector, you were gold. If you had an 8mm projector, you could get some pretty decent porn on 8mm.
Yeah, the only reason I watch porn nowadays is to make sure that nothing's changed biologically speaking.
Oh yeah.
I know there's a lot of updates and a lot of things may have changed, so just to keep myself informed about if everything still works the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah, that's my excuse for watching porn too. I need to make sure my vagina isn't broken.
Definitely.
It's for science. That's it. Biology. Yes, Alice?
Yeah, I do it because I like orgasms.
But to answer your question regarding budgets within porn, so no, it's actually not the route that most production companies are going towards. So the thing is, as opposed to 10, 15, 20 years ago, where there was a lot more money in pornography because most of it was video sales. Most of it wasn't pirated. The problem is nowadays most people just go to the clip sites and don't pay for their porn. So we have this entire culture of people who just expect porn to be free. And so what happened is, of course, nowadays there's not a lot of money to create this type of content. So we always tell people, we're always big advocates of paying for porn, which I know for a lot of people feels out of the norm, but think of the people who are making this. They have the hardest job possible getting you off, and they're content creators at the end of the day. So just like you guys have a YouTube channel, or someone's an artist or a photographer, they're fucking, but for entertainment.
Yeah, well, at my age, when the wind blows, I'm done. So yeah, it doesn't really take that much. But what? So where is the revenue coming from these movies? Let's say a woman does a scene, or a man gets a scene, they get paid a couple $100. How are they getting the studio making money off of this then?
Nowadays, so Eva?
Well, there are a handful of different avenues. I mean, it's the revenue streams are significantly less because people don't have to and don't buy them on DVDs. But for it's for some places, it's for monthly subscriptions. For a lot of women who have their own fan sites or are on what was the service that Riley just told us about? She's opening one.
Oh, there's OnlyFans. There's OnlyFans clips for sale. So there's websites like that where people could support the individual performers.
Yeah, and I mean those are ways that people manage to keep the revenue back where it was before porn really got started to not be paid for.
There are memberships you can also have.
All right, no, please go ahead. We got a little bit of delay here, so please forgive me.
Sorry. There are also memberships you can have to different sites. Of course, all these sites are making ad revenue as well. Pornhub isn't just counting on people to pay for stuff. But that's the thing. I mean, there are ways that you can support performers. We're really big advocates of, if you have a favorite porn performer, they have a site. They're probably producing clips. They're probably selling stuff. A lot of the production companies nowadays are working generally in tandem with a company like MindGeek, which owns all the porn sites. So that way they can have money to create some of the content and get some of that revenue. But yeah, it's just, as Yvette mentioned, it's there, but it's a lot less.
Yeah, I can imagine. I know I have a friend, she's a BDSM expert, and so she's on YouTube and she teaches people about BDSM. She actually lives 15 minutes from me, and we head out all the time. She's amazing. She's been on this channel. People may know her, Brittany Simon. And what she does is she has sponsorships with Adam and Eve. And so they'll get her product, she'll use the product and then give a rating kind of thing on it and kind of promote it that way. So these porn performers that are having their webpage, or they're having these private clips or having these private sessions, I think is a wonderful way to make revenue, and I think that people should support that way. And also there's the Chatabates things and the live webcam things too that I know that they would do as well. This is an easy way to give back to them, because I think I agree with you. I think it's a job, right? I mean, they're doing a job, they're doing it for the money, and I like the fact that many of them are using Twitter nowadays, and they're actually talking to people and cultivating a fan base, rather than having this aloof, oh, I'm a porn star and I'm too hot for you, blah blah. No, they actually get to know their fans, and we've had some actually similar guests on. I was talking to you, Alice, before we went on air. So do you think that that's something new too, that these porn performers are kind of getting more into social media and getting to know their fans and treating them like they like any other type of business, making it normative?
Yeah, they have to diversify themselves. I mean, the whole thing is now they have to market. They have more. Here's the thing: the pie is going to be a lot smaller because it's spread out over so many people. But the thing is, now there's so many more opportunities to make money for everything from selling your underwear, selling photos, selling clips. You have Twitter, so you could have social media accounts. By the way, there's some hysterical porn stars like Missy Martinez and Kate Kennedy. I mean, even Jesus, they were fucking funny when we had them on the show.
Was it Sylvia who we were hanging out with at the Magic Castle? Yeah, she was fucking hysterical, and she does stand up.
So a lot of these also performers, they not only do stand up, they're also writers. They have their hand in so many pots, but they have to, because again, you can't just rely on DVD sales. So they have to diversify themselves. But I mean, it's cool because now you can find someone who's really up in your niche. So
Yeah, and I mean, part of having the internet available is like, I think everyone, like people who were in porn got on it around the time when everyone else was realizing, oh, Twitter is a way to do this. It's just porn stars back in the, 70s, 80s, 90s didn't have Twitter.
No. And they didn't have the quality of video that's out there now. Like I said, back in those days,
sure.
70. Oh my goodness, right? I mean, it's like going from 240p to 4K and going, holy crap, that's what a vagina looks like. Holy crap, I had no idea.
We love that unbleached asshole is back in now.
What's that? You love that assholes are back in? I didn't know they were back out.
No. We're enjoying that unbleached asshole is back in now. It's
unbleached.
Like, let the asshole be the color it wants to be.
Look, I'm all cool with like scaping and stuff like that, but if you got to start dyeing stuff down there, there's probably a problem. You don't need to bleach it. No.
I mean, we get, we'll hear people who don't know much about this universe or only click on the things on the front page of Pornhub. They'll say, it's the industry has only people that are completely shaven down there that look, that only have a certain look to their genitalia. And it's like, no, you just have to you have to take a 5-second search to find what you're looking for. But there's pubic hair back in all over the place. In the porn universe.
I specifically look for retro stuff myself.
You like a little turf on the field there.
Oh yeah. So I actually had a question, kind of back to the video thing. I know that some of the things that some places have been doing to combat it is a little bit of exclusivity when it comes to the sites themselves. Like I think it was a Fortnite parody recently that was released exclusively on Pornhub. You could watch like a decent free version, but if you paid, you could get a little bit extra. And I'm assuming that was pretty good support for the actors and stuff like that. But I guess the question I'm leading into is, do you think there's a more possible, like probable future that streaming sites like Hulu, Netflix, that kind of stuff might add like an adult only section and that could help with some of that revenue?
I would,
Yvette?
you know what? I'm gonna I figure we both have opinions on this. If I had to guess, at least right now, because of Sesta Fosta, I think they wouldn't touch it with a 39.5-foot pole. And I'm not sure, a lot of things would have to change in terms of their legal, I guess, responsibilities if they're hosting porn as opposed to stuff that's hashtag basically porn. But that's, it's, I think part of the thing that might block this right now is, is just the possible legal ramifications because of Sesta Fosta.
Alice?
And how about you, Alice?
Yeah, so I agree with Yvette that there definitely are implications because of Sesta Fosta. Now, that said, I know that there kind of is a Netflix of porn at the moment. Actress and producer Bree Mills came out with Adult Time, which kind of is that. But that's the question. Are people going to pay for porn? How is that going to get back in? I don't know, considering... just how all of these conglomerates own each other, of how many porn sites, I don't know, can be affected if they're going to want to compete. I would love if there was more competition, because unfortunately the biggest issue right now is that, in my opinion, there's a huge monopoly within porn because of MindGeek, and because of MindGeek being this massive monopoly, it's kind of influencing how a lot of trends are going. I mean, if it wasn't for MindGeek, we wouldn't have the clip sites. If it wasn't for MindGeek, the new UK laws as far as censorship were basically built around a lot of their standards of, well, hey, we sat down with these people and they seem to own, well, all the biggest porn sites that 90% of people go to. So let's work with them.
So MindGeek is basically the Luxottica of the porn universe. You think you're going to different stores for your glasses. They're all one big place. Same thing with
they're like a Canadian-held private business that has they actually own all the domains.
Basically, top 100 domains, everything that you can name, they own. So,
and we're not saying they're an evil corporation. It's just, no, they're in competition.
Yeah, well, okay. Look at, like, for example, Amazon. I mean, they already sell adult products, right? You could buy pretty much. You could get a $5,000 blow up doll, I guess, from Amazon if you really want to. So, and they also do streaming with their Prime service. You actually have streaming